Hello guys, how you doing out there? Welcome to my channel. Like I said, I'm releasing more videos. I want to thank you for your overwhelming support. It's great to be back and doing this again. I really thank you guys for your overwhelming support. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'd be nowhere without you guys. Thank you for the continued support. Okay, so now what I'm doing now is a series of videos. We are at the half of the year now. Half of the year is over, so I'm going to do a reading. I'm gonna do a love and relationship video and a career video. I'm gonna film them one right after another and probably release them today. So what it'll entail is I'm gonna do a reading on the first half of the year when it comes to love and relationship and what's coming up for the second half of the year. I'm gonna do the same thing with career and finances and work. I'll do a reading for what the first half was and then a reading for what's coming up in the second half. All right, I thought it'd be an interesting type of video to do. Like I said, I want to kind of expand and try some different things, and I really hope you enjoy the videos. All right, I really hope you enjoy them, and like I said, you guys are worth it. I really love putting the energy into this, and I hope you enjoy the video. So the first video that I'm gonna do for you guys is the love and relationship video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a layout for what the first half of the year was and then what's coming up for you in the second half of the year. Today is also summer solstice, so we'll see what kind of energies get brought up for that. All right, guys. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's see the first half of the year energies with love and relationship. It's been a I admit it too, like I say this from personal experience, it's been a trying time in the first half of the year. I feel like a lot of things have been stop and start in the beginning of the year. Nothing's really coming to fruition with the love and relationships in the first half of the year. I feel like things have started, things have stopped. It's been kind of like this push pull energy at the beginning of the year. Nothing's really. I feel like there were some starts of relationship, but nothing really, I'm getting nothing concrete. All right, so I always felt that at the beginning of the year that so relationships that haven't taken off, I feel like some of the started relationships they haven't taken off. Like I said, there's kind of like this little. I feel like there was energy that really wasn't. I want to say like holding back energy or something from the beginning of the year, but what I'm trying to say basically is relationships that were started haven't taken off yet, and things have kind of been in the slow in the relationship department in the beginning of the year. So, but I feel as the new energies approach, the second half of the year, I feel like those energies and those blocks are being removed. I could tell you that firsthand because I could definitely feel that the tide is turning with that. So whatever was blocking in the first half of the year, that block should be gone in the second half of the year. So I feel like the energies are opening up. Yeah. The first half of the year was about. Got a couple of cards here for the first half of the year here. All right, some of you were I feel like the first half of the year was self-reflecting. All right, I feel like the first half, the Hermit fell out, so there was some self-reflecting going on in the first half of the year. Um, Self-reflecting on a lot of you were trying to decide what you want in relationships, thinking about relationships, or in the beginning of the year, there could have been an offer of a relationship. Like I said, there was a lot of things that were stop and start at the beginning of the year. It's really making you stop to think. You know what? Like I said, some of you may have started, it may have not, taken off, but there was for some a proposal of a relationship at the beginning of the year that hasn't quite come into fruition yet. And I feel like it's because you're doing a lot of doing your own work right now. You're kind of doing your own kind of like self-reflecting. You're self-reflecting, I believe. And I feel like there could be, well, self-reflecting. You got the Page of Swords here. Some of you are not wanting to go too fast, I feel like, and you're kind of putting it out there either. Some of you do want to take your time. I feel like you're saying what you mean. And that can put off some people too. So I feel like there is a relationship that possibly started at the beginning of the year, but it hasn't quite taken a year because you're doing some, like I said, healing work or internal work, and it hasn't quite gotten there yet. And that was like for the beginning of the year. Let me see what other energies too for the beginning of the year there. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot of internal work that you were doing at the beginning of the year, which would be the first 6 months. I take out a few more cards on the first 6 months of the year, but yeah. And I also get the fact that some of you want to make sure while stepping into a relationship, I feel like some of you really want to make sure this is the right one for you. And it could be because some of you have a lot of responsibilities at the beginning of the year. Ten of Wands is all about being responsible, having lots of responsibilities, being very busy with things. So maybe another reason why things haven't taken off is because you've had your hands full at the beginning of the year. You've had your hands full of responsibilities, work, career, I mean, anything. So I feel like I said there were some obstacles in the way at the beginning of the year. But like I said, as I feel like as the year, as the second half as upon us right now, I feel like those blocks will be removed and things could start going forward here. Yeah, the thing, yeah. You're finding balance at the beginning of the year. This came out. You're finding balance. Yep. So the beginning of the year was you're trying to balance. Some of you are balancing work, careers, new relationships. So basically the first set of the basically you were finding balance at the beginning of the year. Like I said, doing a lot of self-reflecting, finding your balance, maybe trying to balance a new relationship and work, feeling overwhelmed with everything. All right, so now I'm going to take out a card from this deck right here. Now I'll put that, let's see what we got, the card for the beginning of the year when it comes to love and relationships here. Let's see what this has to say. It's this one. Yeah, same card, the Hermit. Yep, a lot of self-reflecting in the first half of the year. So definitely. Okay. All right, so now that was the first half. Now we're going into the second half of the year here, which is an interesting card that I pulled out for the second half, which is the Ace of Cups. Not only does the Ace of Cups represent emotional fulfillment, but also represents the start of summer. All right, so now we are going into the second half of the year with love and relationships. Like I said, I feel those blocks being removed. I feel more emotional fulfillment coming to you. Some of you have found your balance now. I feel like you guys have found a way to work through your balancing, work through your issues. Yep, now the Empress is here also. Now, she represents abundance, nurturing, caring. Yeah, so it's almost like planting seeds at the beginning of the year. Now you're starting to, the second half of the year with love and relationships, those relationships at the beginning are going to flourish now. I feel like the seeds have been planted and reaping the rewards is what I'm getting for you guys. Reaping the rewards for the second half of the year here. I'm going to take out a few more cards for you here and then see what else. Oh, this one wants to come out. Yep. And some of you might have been recovering from a heartbreak or a disappointment. All right, I feel like that's the energy that might be. Some of you are getting over a heartbreak or a disappointment. All right. I'm getting the message. There's new energy coming in on the summertime. So some of you might be getting over a heartbreak or a disappointment. And that could have been the beginning of the year too, because I feel like that energy, I feel like this energy is carried over. I feel like some of you might have did some healing at the beginning of the year, healing a heart, healing a bad relationship, just healing yourself, doing self-work. Yep. Second half also is important as your intuition. The high priestess here. Trust your intuition. Like I always say, trust your intuition. It never leaves you astray. All right. Your intuition is very important with everything going forward. What I'm getting for you, some of you guys now, is that you are wiser people because you got some of you people who have gone through the heartbreak and pain of a loss has now gotten the insight to move forward, and you're going into the second half with a new outlook when it comes to love and relationships. I'm getting a coming up together of yourself. And you also got the Emperor card here, standing firm, being in charge, okay? So you guys, those of you who have been heartbroken at the beginning of the year, now all of a sudden are going into the second half of the year taking charge. Strong, standing in your power. That is always a good thing, especially when it comes to relationships. You have to be strong and stand in your power. Take no nonsense from anybody. Okay, I'm going to draw one more card out. It's funny, I draw 6 cards out for the first half and 6 for the second half of the year, totaling 12 cards representing the 12 months. Okay, let's see what the last card for this has to be. Queen of Cups, more water. Figures we're going into the Cancer season now. Water, things flowing. I'm getting a sense of things flowing very easily for you in the second half. Where there were challenges in the beginning of the year, the second half of the year is everything's flowing very naturally for you. I feel like the gates of manifestation are wide open for you guys. I'm also getting a sense of inner peace. All right, I'm going to take a card out. Another card from this deck here, the 3D Tarot, which are kind of cool deck. I really like these. And see what other message we have, love and relationships for the second part of the year. Let's see. What other messages can we add to this here? Bingo. We got it. Yep. Oh, wow. Look at this. The second half, when it comes to the sun. Happiness, fulfillment, and it figures summertime weather. You get the sun. So there's a sense of a happiness, brightness, things coming together. Things that weren't coming together. Basically, the sun is eliminating any heartbreaks or disappointments that you had in the beginning of the year. But like I said, you did the work, you did the soul searching. A lot of you have are finding yourselves when it comes into love and relationship in the second part. It's a really good second part of the year for love and relationships. That's excellent energy here. Now I'm going to the love and romance cards. I'm going to pull one out for what the beginning of the year was and one for the second part. All right, so we're going to grab a card for the beginning. What were the messages for the beginning, and then what were the messages for the first part of the year? Was about freeing yourself, and you got the children, the energy of the children. All right, a lot of you may have felt, like I said, a lot of you in the beginning of the year felt trapped. You felt trapped. It's just like something was preventing you from having that. Like children is all about fun, happiness, playtime. I felt like some of you couldn't do that at the beginning of the year. For whatever reason, you felt trapped at the beginning of the year. That energy just wasn't there. You felt very trapped. It could have been a number of reasons going on, but like I said, you felt like you were just so busy. Like I said, it's just like you wanted to go out, play, and have fun, but it's just like you weren't able to do that. Like I said, that blocking energy at the beginning of the year. All right, that perfectly makes sense right there. Definitely. Now I'm going to take some cards out for this one wanted to come out too. Some of you might have been in a relationship at the beginning of the year with unrequited love. In other words, it was relationship. This is kind of what the push-pull thing was here. I'm also going to take the heart-to-heart conversation. It was like a relationship. An unrequited relationship is a relationship that you go through that doesn't quite ever come together. It's always something or so other. it always feels like it should come together, but it doesn't. So some of you may have been dealing with a relationship at the beginning of the year where you finally had to sit this person down and be like, hey, listen, it's not working. It never comes together. Maybe some of you had to give somebody the bad news at the beginning of the year, like, hey, listen, this relationship's not coming together. It's kind of like I feel some of you were going around in circles at the beginning of the year, and you decide enough is enough with the relationship, and it's time to move on from that. And unrequited love, it just doesn't ever come together. There's always something. There's chemistry. Like I said, you've got chemistry. You've got all the makings of a good relationship, but there's a missing piece. And I feel like it just loops into circles there. That wanted to come out for the beginning of the year, so I'm going to keep that there. Now I'm going to see the energies of what's coming up with the second half of the year here. All right. See the energies of the second half of the year. Here we go. Perfect. Second half, past life relationship and attraction. Past life relationship is that relationship where you, where you meet somebody right away and it's just pure attraction. It's just like you've known this person forever, and that usually has a past life ties to it, or karmic relationship. So some of you coming into the second half of the year with a karmic relationship, there's going to be a lot of attraction. It's going to be like you've known this person forever. And some of you, it'll allow you to release your ex. It's time to start to get rid of the ex. If you're hanging on to ex energy right now, or energy of someone you've broken up with, or their next second half of the year, you're releasing that energy. Release that energy of the person. You don't need it anymore. Release it and be free. And for some of you, what's coming around is a past life relationship for you. Someone like you felt like you've known forever. All right, it's time for the second part of the year, it's time to break the ties that bind. All right, time to break ties with the past and embrace the future, and embrace this person coming in. And for some of you with relationships also, for some of you, I'm getting like where there were challenges in the beginning of the year, the second half of the year, it's just going to be pure attraction, pure passion. Things coming full circle, where things haven't come full circle in the beginning of the year, they will come full circle at the second half of the year. So in all general, there's a lot of energy going around our readings this year, in total 2022, as I've stated, in the first half and the second half. So basically that's what's going on with love and relationships as the first part of the year, and as I stated and we went over in the second half of the year. So there's a lot of things going on with relationships. A very busy time with everything. I feel like career is going to be the same thing too. I'll see, because that's my next video coming up. All right, guys. Well, I hope this reading was helpful to you. I hope it's given you some insight into your first part of the year and to your second part of the year. If you'd like to get a more personal reading, like I said, a reading, an energy clearing, or whatever service you need, I'll put my information in the description box, and I'll get the information you need for a reading there. All right, the readings for this month are going to be $25, whether it be for a healing session, a clearing of energy session, whatever session you want, is only $25. Again, I will put that information in the description box for you, so you can, if you want something more personal, you can get your own private reading. Well, thank you guys for this part of the reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed bringing it to you, and I will see you guys with another video. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but, gonna wing it. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.